My name is Melissa Miles, and my blog is Hazel-Eyed Songbird at hazeleyedsongbird.com. Today I will be teaching super beginning pianists how to play Forever, a worship song sung by Kari Jobe. I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce her name, so I apologize if that is not, because I'm not positive. But you can listen to the song below. I've pasted a link. So today, in this first video, what we're going to focus on is learning correct sitting position and hand shape, finger numbers, and then learning the keys on the piano. So let's actually start with learning the names of the keys on the piano. But before I do that, I want to say, if you know all of those things already, go ahead and skip ahead to the next video. So the musical alphabet is only 7 letters. The musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you start at the lowest note on the piano, which is the furthest note to the left, it is A. If you move right to the next white key, that note is B, and the next white key after that is C, and then D, and so on. Once you get up to G, your next note is A, and the musical alphabet begins again. This pattern is repeated up the keyboard from the lowest white key to the highest white key. One other thing to note is that the pattern of the black keys, which alternates between groups of 2s and groups of 3s, can help you find specific white keys. C, for example, is always going to be to the left of the 2 black keys. So this is C, this is C, this is C, and so on. You may wonder why all these notes have the same letter, like why are there so many C's and how can we tell them apart? Well, the further to the left a C is on the keyboard, the lower it's going to sound, and the further to the right it is, the higher it's going to sound. Next, let's talk about finger numbers. In piano, the thumbs are numbered as finger number 1, index fingers are 2, middle fingers are 3, ring fingers are 4, and pinkies are 5. In the next several videos, I will be referring to your fingers by these numbers, so make sure to remember that. I also have a little picture below to help you guys. So now, let's talk about correct sitting position and hand shape. You should sit on the front end of the bench with feet flat on the ground and shoulders relaxed. To make sure that you're the correct distance from the piano, the way to figure that out is by putting out your arm with a closed fist, and the end of your fist should reach where the fall board is. This is the fall board. If you're too close, your elbow's going to be bending. If you're too far and can't reach the fall board, wow, I really can't talk, can't reach the fall board, then move a little bit closer. So lastly, before we move on to learning the song, let's talk about correct hand shape. And I think the best way to explain that, the easiest way to explain that, is to have you put both of your hands on your knees. I know it's probably a little hard to see my knees, but just put your hand on the knee, which gives your hand a nice rounded hand shape, and freeze your hands in that position. So they should look kind of like this. And bring them up to the piano keys. And that's how you want to have your hand shape when you're playing the piano, nice and rounded. And make sure that your wrists are flat and your forearms. You don't want to have your wrists kind of bent up like this, or you don't want your hands to be flat. You want a rounded hand with a nice flat wrist and forearm. All right, well, we're ready to start learning the song, so go ahead and move on to the next video.